Crown 5, man. We're in the basement of NYU somewhere, man, with Drizzy Drake, man. The Don, what's up, Drake?
Feel good, man.
I reached out to you, man, about doing this Crown thing, you know, with live audience. Everybody's excited.
It's actually not true. I reached out to you about doing the Crown thing. Sometimes there is things that you have to say, and a lot of the times when I get interviewed, I don't get to say those things. I'm sure you have some controversial questions that I'm like 150%, you know, like ready to answer tonight.
They want his clout, producer's job. They want to be down with the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drake.
Drizzy Drake.
This is beautiful, man. Look at this. What's up? What's up, Mom, right there? I see you, Mom. What's up? That's not my mom, but it's somebody's mom right there. What's going on? What's up? Everybody from New York. Shout out to New York, love. I don't even want to sit down. I feel like I should start performing or some shit. Yeah.
We ain't paying for that, but if you want to do that.
That's great. This is beautiful, man. Thank you for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. You could give that out. Let's give that out to some people in the crowd. Let's get some drinks. Yeah, pop that and don't. Oh, you want to let me do it? So I.
Yo, champagne poppy, baby.
All right.
Yeah. Take a shot for me. Who you giving that to?
I'm gonna give it to this mom right here. Mom, you drink?
Oh, shit.
You drink? Yeah, come on, get some of that, baby. Yeah.
You and them older ladies, man. I thought nothing was the same. That's kind of the same, man. You and the older ladies, man.
No, that's how it's supposed to be. She needs a little champagne to get things right. You know what I'm saying?
You go straight to the bottom.
Listen, Mom, it's gonna be a long night. I apologize ahead of time. There's a lot of women in the crowd.
There's a
Thank
lot of
God.
women.
Look at that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Drake. This is the most women at a Crown so far.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. I'm honored.
It's not me, but. Now, but speaking of like things that take a long time, man, you really took your time putting this album together, man. Yeah. Hey, can I do my job? Hey. I'm gonna get there. Be patient. Nah, but it was a process with this third album. Nothing Was the Same, you know. And you know, you started out in February, and that took off. Like, talk to me about how you rolled out this year, and then still maintain your patience of making sure you piece together this project the way you wanted it. And before you told people just wait on it. You know what I'm saying? Like till it was right. You know,
Well,
how were you able to maintain that and roll out this year in a way?
I think 40 was like a big factor in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
40 is here.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, just
Yeah.
save that.
40
you know,
is
we
here.
But 40,
40.
challenged me for the first time. You know, a lot of our projects have been like 17 songs, 18 songs, a collection of music that I never feel like it's enough. So what I do is I overcompensate. I do as much as I can. I try and include as much as I can. And for the first time, he challenged me to make like a concise project, and he was, you know, actually challenged me to hold it to 13 songs, which because, you know, he is not only my friend and not only my partner, but he's also a mentor to me, I accepted the challenge. So what happened was I was trying to make a body of work that from front to back was a complex body of work, but an easy listen that made you, like, I wanted it to be such a journey that, you know, once it's over, you're like, man, I gotta listen again. You know, and some of the greatest projects, some of my favorite albums are like that. So I really tried to make, you know, a piece that wasn't too much music to the point where you have to pick out your favorites. I just wanted it to flow from front to back. And in order to do that, it took me a lot of time, just as far as transitions, as far as, you know, making sure the songs made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell my story using like, you know, sometimes people tell stories using like interludes or skits or stuff like that. I tried to tell the story like with the music. So to do that, it took me about like a year, and it's been like 2 years since Take Care almost, which is crazy, but it took me a while. So.
And did you feel like with Take Care, I mean, I know what you did your first album, I know you had certain things that you felt like didn't go the way you wanted to go with that. And then I feel like with Take Care, you nailed it the way you wanted. There you go. Take a shot. Now, Take Care, I felt like you nailed it, and it kind of lifted this weight off your shoulder, and it seemed like you just had this extra confidence, you know what I mean, going forward. Is that fair to say?
I wouldn't say necessarily that I nailed it on Take Care. I mean, I still. Thank you.
Well, you also say you are a perfectionist. You are a
me
perfectionist.
me and 40 have our issues with Take Care as well. I mean, there's just moments where I feel like, you know, 2 songs could have been one great song, or, you know, arrangements could have been a little different. I do love that album, and it was a time in my life where that album told that story. And for this album, I needed to tell a different story. I'm at a very different place in my life. You know, I feel great with me. You know, this is the first time that I'm not searching for what I had in the past. I'm not even waiting for what's to come in the future. I mean, I'm excited for it, but the present, the life that I'm living right now is the greatest thing I could ever ask for, and I wanted to make that album.
So how do you feel the album expresses that? Like, what is the story if people haven't really sat with it yet? Like, that you feel you're really trying to convey?
Well, I think that you can hear me reflecting on things, but not longing for them. I think this album, I may touch on those things, and I touch on those things for the sake of, like, the fact that, you know, I try and make, like, a life soundtrack. You know, people, like, if I didn't write about my life, people may say about me, like, oh, man, you know, everything's so emotional. But, like, if I didn't write about that, like, what the fuck else would I write about? Like,
No, but I also feel like what people say about you is that out of all the artists in hip-hop, you best reflect this generation. Yeah, I was at a barbershop and this dude was saying how, like, he loved From Time.
You don't go to the barbershop. That's a lie. This guy gets, like, private haircuts with, like, warm facial massages and shit like that. I'm at the barbershop. That was, like, the most hip-hop thing you could say.
Not in the hood.
I was at the barber. You were at the salon. Okay, go ahead. They don't give that cut at the barbershop.
And after my Manny Petty, my nigga pulled me to the side and he said, the record From Time where you talk about reconnecting to your father, he related to that. You know, a lot of brothers don't have a father coming up. So I feel like that's a great example of how, you know, you're rapping about your experience with Papa Graham and reconnecting with him, and he found a connection to that. And, like, he was also the type of cat that doesn't really, you know, you sing too much and all that type of, the one-on-one type criticism.
That guy.
For you, that kind of guy. But even
you
tuck his heartstrings with that shit, or you connect to him that way. Does that feel like, do you feel like that's your strength, that you're able to do that despite people's biases against you?
When it comes to somebody like that, you know, I'll never be that guy to him. You know, I'll never be the guy that's aggressive enough. I'll never be the guy that, you know, is rap or hip hop enough. So, and that's fine. You know, I accept that. I mean, like, you look at this, like, I have enough love. I don't need everybody's love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you know. Yeah, definitely. And but it does make me happy that even when there is somebody who can say, like, man, you know, like, a lot of the feedback that I've gotten on this album is like, man, you know, I'm not a Drake fan, but I gotta say, there's some joints on here. But that's what it's about, man. That's evolution. That's converting people's minds. And, you know, I had the option after Take Care, because in a lot of people's eyes, it was like a victory. It was a huge win.
Got a little Grammy.
And I thank you.
How do you, like, I know you had this thing about, you had to accept the fact, look, I sing well, I write melodies, I rap well, like, I'm just gonna do both. That's my strength. I'm not gonna hide from it. I'm not trying to please everybody. It feels like even with Nothing Was the Same, you found a more comfortable balance with that. Like, how did you achieve that?
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for, I understand sort of when people start saying that, when it's just straight up ballads and it's music that I'm in love with. You know, I mean, I'll be honest, you know, there's times where I feel like I like R&B music better than I like rap music. You know, it's just sometimes, like, I like listening to it, whether it be classic, whether it be new. You know, it's just when I find myself having free time, you know, I like melody. And it's so funny that people scrutinize me so much for melody, because then another rapper will go and drop their single and the whole single is melody driven, and that's okay because he's allowed to do that and I'm not allowed to do that. It's just like this crazy double standard that people have for me. But with this album, what I tried to do is blur the lines between, like, say, you know, a song on the last album, like Doing It Wrong, which was like straight melody, And it was like straight ballad, you know, it was very slow, it was kind of drawn out, it was like there was a sentiment to it, or like a Marvin's Room, you know, which was like very like, you know, what I tried to do on this album, and it's very much because my life isn't there, I tried to make even the R&B songs exciting to the point where it's like, man, this doesn't even feel like R&B, and what was crazy was when I have a song on the album called Connect, and yes.
We like that song. We like that song.
And
Swangin'.
Yeah. And I had a sample at the beginning of it, and I had to bring this baseball announcer in to recut the sample for me, and he was like a guy that obviously, you know, is into like jazz and into all this other music and not really into rap. And he listened to the song and he was like, man, I don't even know what genre to classify this as. And to hear somebody like that say something like that, I was like, oh man, I'm on the right path. This is good, you know, and I want to blur the lines and I want to blend it because, like I said, I embrace it at this point. Like, if you think I sing too much now, just wait till I'm like 33 and I do this straight. Just wait till I'm like at the MGM Grand every night and you can come see me with the suit and the super tan like on the keys, you know what I'm saying? Just like this. It'll look just like this. You'll all have drinks and I'll be, that's where it's going.
But in the meantime though, the aggressive side of you.
I don't do the motto at that show either. It's just it's all the slow shit.
Your bars are way more aggressive, man. You rapping with like a certain tenacity.
Because I'm a good rapper, man. I just wanted to let you know that. I don't know if you guys forgot recently, but you know, I rap. That's what I do.
How have you become a better rapper? You're a better rapper.
I don't know really how to answer that question. I always want to outdo myself. I always want to outdo everybody else around me. I'm a very competitive person. I'm just quiet about it. I'm not really out there like talking about who I want to outdo. I'd rather just go and outdo it, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to just sitting back and being like, oh, you know, I don't need to tell you who I'm better than or who I'm trying to be better than. I just want to put my music out and then you tell me who's better than, you know what I'm saying? That's, I mean, yeah. I leave it up to the people, you know, yeah. and as far as like how do I get better, I push myself really hard. I mean, I have great opinions in the studio, you know, like me, myself, Hush, we all sit in the studio and sorry, me, myself, Hush, that makes no sense. Me, 40 and Hush. I need that drink whenever you guys are ready. So yeah, you know, we all sit in the studio and I don't sacrifice like, or I try not to sacrifice any bar, you know. I mean, I'll sit there on the last two lines of a verse for 3-4 days if I need to, you know, just to figure out how to end it. You know, I want it to be cohesive. I always want the beginning of a verse to be strong. I always want the end to be strong. And I really, really, really spend a lot of time on bars, man. You know, luckily for me, melodies come extremely easy, you know, knock on wood, like, but they do. I mean, I that is something that naturally, like, I just get in there and it starts flowing, and by, you know, 40 minutes in, an hour in, I have pretty much the direction that I'm going in. But when it comes to raps, I spend a lot of time on it, man. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you know, that's all off the top, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I spend a lot of time.
You spend a lot of time in the intro.
Yeah, I do.
Leather.
Yeah, I do. I do spend a lot of time on my intros.
Everybody loves that. Talk about that record. Like, why do you think it was so important to kind of set the tone of the album with that type of song and like, well, literally say that you're spending time with this and you just keep firing bars and bars and bars like.
This album, I set out to have like the most aggressive intro to date. You know, all my other intros, like if you talk about like Lust for Life, then what was on Fireworks, then Over My Dead Body. They're all sort of like these, you know, lead-ins to, you know, when it comes to the production, they're like, you know, sort of somber and you know, they're impactful, but they weren't Tuscan Leather. And I was in Atlanta with 40 and I was like, man, just make me some Dipset Heatmaker shit, like, so I could just really I was like, I really want to go off. And he made this beat and I did the verse, and then like throughout we had it for a long time, and throughout the course of the album, the beat just kept evolving, and I would, you know, take it somewhere else for the second verse, and then the third verse went somewhere else, and then Curtis Mayfield is on the end, and it was just like, it was an art piece. You know, it became an album in itself. You know, it was like this 6-minute self-expression to let you know everything, all the questions that I don't normally answer because I don't like to go up, you know, to these radio stations and sit with these press people, because at the end of the day, like I said backstage, the reason why I like talking to you is because I feel like you're really trying to bring answers to these people and not tear apart my character or nitpick at me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, like, if I go up to the radio station and I don't say some dumb shit about, you know, Chris Brown, or if I don't do some shit, like, if I don't do some wild shit, then they get no ratings. So, you know, it's tough to really participate in media otherwise. But, you know, instead of going up there and just talking about it, I'd rather just talk about my life on the song. So that was really what that intro was about, you know, and I spent a long time on it, so.
How much time has the nigga spent on intro? Let's talk about Wu-Tang Forever. Like, I think it was like a lot of, it's yours, AKA it's yours. You guess the thing, you could have just called it It's Yours. Why did you call it Wu-Tang Forever? And were you surprised that people tried to make a little brouhaha, a little hoopla around it? Like
A little what?
like
Brouhaha?
like controversy, like you were disrespecting Wu-Tang, you know, like it's not Wu-Tang or this.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something.
You know?
I had the best moment of my life the other day. I was at rehearsal, one of the best moments, and like Ghostface Killer called me, and he was like, and he was like, yo, son, like, yo, it's this, you know, and I don't want to out his business, but he was just so real about it that I just got to tell this story because I'm proud. So if he watches this, and I'm sorry, but I got to tell the story. He was like, yo, son, like, you know, it's this guy on Twitter, man, and, you know, he been pretending to be me for a long time and talk down on you, but, yo, you know, like, you're like, yeah, for real. And he was like, yo, like, I just wanted to tell you, like, you know, you're one of my favorite MCs. And to hear that from him, you know, somebody who, I mean, we all have looked up to for so long. And it meant a lot to me because I did take a risk by titling that song what it was. And I remember we had conversations about it initially, like, is this going to be like, is it going to stunt the growth of the song or whatever? But for me, I'm always into paying homage. You know, last album it was Practice. And this album, that's kind of what Wu-Tang Forever is. I always kind of try to pick a classic hip-hop song and make it my own, you know. It reminds me of sort of the interlude series that I have, like the Bria's interlude. It's kind of that thing, like I sort of found a new groove with that. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it would have been worse than that, really, to be honest. I mean, and I have like a great piece to bring to you guys, too, which is just like me and like Wu-Tang Clan all rapping together again, which is dope. So
Hey, you told me about that. They might get that soon.
yeah, that's coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, it's on the way.
The language.
Yep.
I mean, that's again very sharp on the bars. Very.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that? Like, what made you feel like the statements behind that? Like, what made that record fit?
What
right?
statements are you referring to?
Wait, I got some here. I wrote them down. Well, you do a great job, but when you talk down, like, I don't listen to your new shit. Don't ask for my take on it. Your shit is not that inspiring.
Yeah.
I gotta kill off the weak shit that got y'all excited.
Yep. I'm
It's
good
a
at
very.
that, no?
It's a. You doing it now? You killed him?
No, I mean, like, no, I'm saying, like, I like to get, like, what are you asking exactly? I don't understand.
Well, no, it's the competition in hip hop. I mean, obviously, you know, when you make those kind of records and you're making those statements and you're competing, are you deferring to specific things, or it's just about making the most boldest, strong statement that you can about your craft,
Well,
and where you stand?
When I say something, I mean it. You know, like, I'm not just saying it to be like, this sounds cool, I'm gonna write this down. Like, yeah, of course I mean it. Like, it's just like I understand that people need something new to love. That is just natural human, like, desire, you know. And when it comes, like, you know, it's like the same way people be like, man, you know, you got to get back on that So Far Gone shit. That was your. It's just like, what is that to you though? Do I have to get back to sounding like that, or was that a time marker in your life when you were in college dating this girl and you got that mixtape and nobody knew about Drake, and now you know and you want that moment back? I can't give you that moment anymore. I can keep giving you great music. We can keep growing. We can keep understanding each other, but it's tough for me to go back there, you know. So as far as like making those statements, I don't know what I was saying about that.
The language. Why
No,
did the
I-
language feel right? You got stun on there too? Stun and
No,
talk
wait,
and
hold on.
talk?
I was making a point. Hold on, Elliot, give me a second. Yeah, I don't know, man. Fuck everybody, man. Shit.
Well,
I'm
it seems
just-
like if you talk about, like someone yelled out Kendrick. It seems like nowadays people want to build Kendrick.
Nobody yelled out Kendrick. You just heard that in your head.
No, earlier.
When you go to sleep, you just hear somebody be like, Kendrick Lamar.
No, but here's what's funny about you and Kendrick Lamar. It's like people forget you had him on Take Care. You had him on Buried Alive. You talked about a meeting that you guys had where you kind of was schooling him on the game. And there's a great line about how he realized he's the same age as you, and it made him rude and impatient. So it's almost like it's very foreshadowing. You know, he ended up making a great record, Good Kid, Mad City. Just the connection.
Phenomenal album, by the way.
Phenomenal album.
Phenomenal album. Yeah, round of applause.
And then now he takes a competitive stance with a verse like Control. And then you said that, you know, he's not murdering you in any platform. But, you know, that's where that rivalry, that's where people want to try to build. That's if you want to try to build a rivalry. Like, what's your take on that? Do you feel like that they're trying to create a competition that he's not on your level because of your accomplishments? Like, do you feel like they're trying to hype this up and elevate it too much?
Nah, I feel like that's it. It's like, you know, he's the new guy to love, and of course, I mean, rightfully so. He's super talented, you know. But thank you. But he's but he's like, you know, he is the underdog that's extremely hungry. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing his thing really well. And that verse was. He's giving people like moments, you know, like that verse was a moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now at this point in time? Okay. And then, but it was real cool for like, you know, a couple weeks. But like, if I asked you, for example, like, how does that verse start?
No, if you remember.
No, and like,
No.
now mind you, it'll go on and Complex and Rap Radar, give it like verse of the millennium and all that shit or whatever. But like, I'm just saying, it's like, you know, I remember like somebody like asking me, you know, or maybe it was you that was like, is Kendrick Lamar your biggest competition like in this generation or whatever?
Yeah.
And I think that Kendrick has like the utmost potential, man. Like, you know, I see Kendrick tomorrow, I'm gonna dap him. I didn't feel a way about that verse. I get it. I get the moment. Like, you know, he's a good guy. And like, I know that verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. So it's like, he didn't come on there on some wild, like, yeah, I'm in New York, fuck everybody, don't look at me. Like,
I'm the king.
So it was, you know, it was one of those things. It's like, I almost wish he had come in there on that shit because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really fuck everybody, then it needs to be fuck everybody. It just can't be halfway for the sake of the people. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, that's just how I feel. Yeah. But anyway, like, you know, I still like, when it comes to competition, I'm more worried about consistency. I'm more worried about bodies of work. I'm talking about hit records. I'm talking about, I'm basically talking about like, you know, there's one guy who's up every night thinking about how to get better and how to do things bigger. And you know, that's Kanye West. He's like, you know, he's always gonna be the guy that's trying to outthink and outdo, you know, everybody. So for me, that would be like, you know, that's my guy that I aspire to surpass, you know what I mean? And as far as Kendrick goes, like, I can't wait to see what he does because now it's time to show and prove. And consistency it's been one album. Consistency is like, you need more than one album, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's time to show and prove, and I look forward to seeing what he does, man. He's fucking super talented, so yeah. Cheers to Kendrick Lamar.
All right.
Reporters climb, producers jive. They wanna be down with the king.
Last night was crazy. I was in Vegas and I saw Jeffrey Ross. He's like a comedian, and like, you know who that is? He's funny as fuck. And he was like, just like like in a hot tub, like floating, like just in a hot tub, and like just like long hair, just like floating in this hot tub with like 9 women, and like out of the whole party, it was like weird. It was a weird ass party, by the way. Like, it was a Miley Cyrus party. It was weird as fuck.
Twerk, Molly, twerk.
But
Did Molly twerk?
yeah, I don't know. I was not watching. But he was just like, oh shit, like Jewish, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what? I get spotted out by like any Jewish person. Like, people just see me in the airport, they'll just be like, keeping it Jewish, you know what I'm saying? I just be like, yeah. I'm like, I gotta do the crazy like Israel OVO fest, like, you know what I'm saying? just like Matisyahu headlining, I'm just opening. That's a Jewish rapper, by the way, sorry. I feel like I'm doing stand-up comedy. You wanna ask some questions?
It's all good. That's how this crown, baby. It's
Yeah,
loose.
all right, cool, go ahead.
Kanye, the throne, also Jay-Z. You guys have an amazing relationship, it seems like.
We do.
That you do great collaborations.
Keep asking that question, I'm just gonna refill Mama's
go ahead.
glass real quick.
Yeah,
Go
she
ahead.
needs it.
Come on, baby. I'm listening.
Oh, you got the Magnum joint.
There you go. No, yeah, it's good. All right.
If Mom needs the Magnum, we ready.
Yeah. No, keep asking the question. Yeah, we need her right. She needs to forget everything she heard tonight. She needs to go buy that album, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Forget everything you've heard this evening. I'm still the guy with the clouds in the background. All right, I'm ready. Go ahead, Louis Vuitton.
No. Pound cake,
Yeah.
cake. Talk me through pound cake.
Pound cake happened while I was writing for Beyonce, or working with Beyonce. Not writing for, working with. I hate saying writing for because she's a phenomenal
She got
writer.
bars.
Yeah, she has bars on bars. So we worked together, and then Jay was playing me Magna Carta, and he had a song that he played me with those verses on it. And I heard the song, and I really was like, the thing that set me off was the fact that Uncle West got a shout out. I don't know if you guys know Uncle West. but
Worldwide West.
Yeah, Worldwide West. He's like you could clap for him if you want. You know
Worldwide
what I'm saying?
West, baby.
But he's another mentor, and he's like a boss, like boss of all bosses. And he's just like a great, he embraces a lot of young talent, whether it be sports or music or whatever. He's just a great guy. And so I had the nerve to ask Jay if I could not only get that song from him, but get the a cappella because I had an idea for it. And Jay is such a supportive person as far as my career goes and such a great guy that for the first time, I think in his career, he sent me like 2 verses a cappella. He told me, he's like, I would never do this. Like, I don't even know if I should tell you guys that, but it's too late.
Don't ask for that.
That ship has sailed. But yeah, he told me, he was like, he sent it to me, and me and Boy Wonder started kind of piecing together ideas. At first, me and 40 had made a beat around it, and the beat was just a bit too nostalgic. It was like, I was like, man, this is like some like Foxy Brown like album cut. We had to like switch it. It was a crazy beat. It just got a little too like 96 on him, or like 90, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, it was like too ill nah basically. So
You can't go too ill nah.
you can go too ill nah, trust me. So then Boy Wonder came through with this incredible beat, and again, much like Tuscan Leather, the song just started taking shape. The beat brought the Jay verses to life. I sent the song back to Jay, and that was when it almost became a Jay-Z song. And then, but he's just like he's such a good guy. Like, he was just like, man, I gave my word. Everybody around him was hype off the song. But he's like, honestly, like, I'll tell you, man, like, we're all like so grateful to have Hov, like, for real. I don't know if you, like, I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but like, I don't know what I'd do without that guy sometimes. Like, he's just like full of like gems, full of advice. And I mean, obviously one of the most talented people, and just
So he just loved So Far Gone, and then he reached out to you, and that's how the relationship kind of developed?
No. I think that I kind of got brought in later than that, like around like when we did like Off That.
Yeah.
So let me talk about Off That for a second. So Off That was like a reference. Initially,
You got black Timbs on right now, baby.
yeah,
We're back.
I know. Yeah, it's like, okay, let's just talk about this for a second.
Yeah, he
I was
regrets
not-
off that. He regrets off that. Black Timbs is back.
Yeah, no, but like, okay, yeah, it was just like, all right, listen.
The
disaster
of Off
I wasn't.
That.
No, it's not a disaster. I wasn't supposed to be on that hook though, and if I was on that hook, I probably would have said different things. I initially wrote it as a reference to somebody, you know, and it ended up making the album. And at that time, who's gonna say no to a, you know, I wasn't on some like, no, let me change it. I was just grateful to be on the album, but I probably would have said things different. But aside from that, Light Up and Pound Cake, I'm very proud of me and Hove's work. Like, we do great things together.
So is it just like a lyrical kind of toe-to-toe kind of thing? You feel like that?
Yeah,
you can bring a song?
it's tough to go anywhere else. I mean, we both like rapping and raps, you know, and like I'll play him my stuff and he plays me his stuff, and it's just always like, I'm always proud to hear him, like, you know, have the craziest bars, and vice versa. You know, he likes to hear I'll play him little pieces, bits and pieces, and he'll just be like, all right, like, you know, and we talk about music a lot, you know, so when we do connect, it's tough for it not to be that.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to just go and be like, oh man, let's just do
Make a girl
do
record.
60, yeah, or like, you know, like, let's just limit ourselves. Like, nah, we want to, like, I want to give people, like, and that was one thing I wanted to do on this album, was just give you like bars. Like, I make albums with that in mind, you know, with performing in mind, and with just the listening experience.
Hold On, We're Going Home is that different type of record like that, where you feel like, were you nervous at all putting that out? Because that kind of you putting that record out.
Regime, you saw that? Yeah, he was giving me the season, baby. Season.
All right. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, now. Hey. It's early now. Hey.
And Miguel's here, too. What the hell?
Would you like a tour? Talk about why that record felt right to put that out, especially even as a single. It's kind of like you drew up on iTunes one day, kind of like you low-key put it out. You know, did you feel a little nervous that this may be a little different for what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of like put out All Me right before. I was like, yo, I can still rap. And then
Oh me, oh my.
But Hold On, We're Going Home has probably been the biggest record of my career so far, actually, to be honest with you.
But that's like, sounds like that big hit record. Like,
Well,
you kind of worry
aside
about
from a big hit record, it's just like, I was sitting here thinking, like, you know, I'm sure we're all like somewhere between like, you know, 18, 19, and like 17, whatever. All right.
15.
So let's say we're all between 12 and...
Shout out to the real 12-year-olds in the house tonight.
Yo, shout out to all the 12-year-olds in the building. What's up? It's mad 12-year-olds in this bitch tonight.
Crazy 12-year-old.
But yeah, I feel like, you know, I was thinking of everybody between 12 years old and like 30.
You wasn't thinking no 12-year-old.
I was thinking of all the 12-year-olds. And 30. I was just like, man, like, because I hear like my dad or like, you know, my mom like reminisce on music and be like, oh, that was my song. I was just like, man, what are people gonna say? What's gonna be like? What are you gonna get? What's gonna be the song you dance to at your wedding? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, I don't, like, there's a couple joints, but I couldn't think of that many. Like, what are gonna be those songs that age extremely well, that are timeless music? And then I started being like, I want one of those. You know, like, I want one of those. And 40 found this incredible group, Magic Jordan, and they're about to like blow the world away. And they had this like little demo idea that was like, you know, an incredible, it was like sort of scratch vocals, you know, just here and there. And it was that beat. And I came up with this, just hold on, we're going home. I had like seen it somewhere and I was like, that would make a great hook. Just that phrase looked really good, like on paper. And yeah, I just came up with the song and we did it in one night. And I don't know if Madge is here. I don't think he's here, but we did it in one night together. It was like an incredible working experience. And from there, I was like, if I want to make a commitment in my career to be the guy that like pushes music forward a bit, I think I should drop this record. And we all kind of agreed that it would be the next single. And the video's about to come out this week, which is great.
Okay.
And yeah, it was nerve-wracking at first. I mean, of course, like, you know, as much as I live in like the same world as you, which is like the rap internet world. I am a big part of it. Even though like you don't see me on there that much, I'm actually on there a lot, for real.
Follow me on Twitter.
I'm on there a lot. Like I keep up with what's going on, and sometimes it's easy to fall victim to a lot of the scrutiny in there, but that's actually not the real world, to be honest with you. You know, that is like to base your career off the scrutiny of like, you know, the 10 guys that like, you know, that like dictate like what rap is and what's cool and shit like that. Like, it's dope to have them on your side, but even when they're not on your side, like, it doesn't mean that like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they've said shit about me before, or whoever it is. Like, that particular world is something not to get caught up in. And that's what I tried to do on this album. I was like, you know what? Even if like Twitter doesn't like agree with it right away, I'm gonna go forward with this, and it actually worked out amazing, man. Everybody hit me like, yo, this is not a reach for you. This sounds like you. It sounds great. This is a direction that we can't wait to hear, and it's a direction that I can't wait to go. I mean, I'm really looking forward at some point, not right now, because I feel like I obviously have a couple more rap albums to make, but I'm looking forward to giving you that moment, you know, my version of whatever, you know, like I remember hearing 808s. I'm looking forward to giving you my version of like a full singing record one day, so.
I want to bring out our extra guest in a minute,
yeah.
but I want to ask one more question before.
Oh yeah, please, yeah.
About another powerful song, Too Much, obviously. You know, you debuted it on Fallon, and you gave a little disclaimer actually before you performed it. Why did you do that?
That's a great question.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what bat mitzvahs and 16s are, but I think I'm trying to be back.
You're doing. You're a doer. I gave.
And I got a good laugh. Drizzy.
Yeah.
All right.
You've been easy on. The laugh isn't as harsh in person. I think it's the mics that you guys use.
Pull
It's
the
just,
mic away.
yeah, it's amplified like on the internet. On the internet, it'll just be like, yeah, so yeah. Like, you don't even, like, it just goes from like 1 to like 1,000. So yeah, I gave, why did I give a disclaimer before? I'll be very honest and candid with you. I gave a disclaimer before because a couple nights before I did that performance, I gave my mother an iPod. I gave my mother an iPod with the album on it, and I told her to listen to that song. I told her about it previously, but I told her to listen to it. Partly to make sure that she was comfortable with it, but I didn't say that. I just said, just make sure you listen to this one song. And for the first time, my mom was extremely upset. She was like really upset with me. She was upset because she felt like it warranted a personal conversation before I went and said that in a song. And what I had to remind her of is that we had had this personal conversation many times over, and I felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And it was sitting on my chest so heavy that one night when I had that second verse to finish, it just all it was like it was a huge release. I don't think I've ever felt anything like that before. I mean, I wasn't even writing the words down, and I'm not just saying that to like sound cool. I wasn't even writing it down. I was just in the booth, running in and out, going line by line because my thoughts were racing through my head so fast. And yeah, it you know, I've got hit up by like girls before, or like whatever, you know, people that feel like they got like mismentioned in the song, and I never do it out of malice. I don't try and exploit the people in my life. And if you listen to my music, it's not like I'm here like, oh, this girl, you know what I'm saying, she done been with this guy. And I don't out people. I just I do tell my story though. Yeah. And any girl that I've ever mentioned, she loves it anyway. She just but
Who the waitresses and all that, they love it.
But yeah, with that being said, I gave that disclaimer on TV because I knew my mother would be watching, you know, and since I chose to communicate that message to her publicly, I also wanted to communicate another message to her publicly, which was that, just like, I love you, you know, I do. I love you with all my heart, and I want the best for you. I didn't mean to make the world think that you're like some person that's just hiding out, but at the end of the day, you know, I want a lot more from my mother. You know, she's 66. That scares me, man. I'm 26 years old, you know. Life is not guaranteed. It does not last forever. I want her to, like, start feeling better and get on a plane and go wherever she wants to go and see as much of the world and come to the crowns and come to the first concerts. And, you know, and my mom doesn't do that. You know, she stays where she's at, and it does bother me. So I gave that disclaimer because I felt partly guilty, and also because I really wanted her to know how much I loved her in front of the whole world. So, yeah.
Because of that. I know you also love 40. 40 here? Where's 40 at, man? I want 40.
Yeah, you got to bring that shit
Where's
out.
40?
Boss man, hey now.
Ask Songwriter, yeah. This is the architects of the OVO sound right here, baby.
How y'all doing?
How you doing? That's Noah, 40. What's up, 40?
What's up, Elliott?
Yo, you the ASCAP Songwriter of the Year, man. How you feeling, baby?
Feel good. I don't come out the studio to notice what's going on too often, but it's a nice surprise when I get here.
So Drake was telling a little bit. I mean, I'm sure you guys are very proud of this album. That was the same on the eve of the release. I got kind of Drake's perspective of things. What was your? He said you pushed him to make him be more condensed, like to get it down to, you know, not just make a lot of songs, but make a strong, concise body of work. Like, give me a little bit about your insight about the project and what made it different than Take Care.
Well, I just think when it comes to that, it's easier to keep adding more, and like, you have to be careful not to dilute it, but it's easier to add more to fix a problem, you know, opposed to starting from the right place. And that even comes from production, where some producers make really simple beats, but if it's really simple and it's that good, that's the genius. To keep adding all the parts and all the pieces isn't as difficult to achieve that end goal. So to have a concise body of work that is as good as it should be, and there's no loose ends in there, and there's no dead weight, that's, to me, would make a better project. And I think that's what I challenged Drake, ourselves, both of us, too. So.
And I noticed with this album, like, you had, like, outside producers like Mike Zombie did, started from the bottom, and you used a lot more outside production than you probably ever have.
I don't know. I mean,
no?
Yes and no. I mean, we always have outside producers, you know? Like, I come from a certain place, and I make music a certain way, you know? I'm very different than a lot of producers because I start with the keys. I don't start with the drums, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And 99% of producers, especially in rap music, start with their drum programming first. So what drives my music is a little different, and there's a time and place where we have to look to other people, such as Wonder, or other people who have been part of Drake's career from day one, that really help us deliver that message across the board. And that's always been that way. That's nothing new, you know. But I'm also a mixer and engineer, so I can help in other ways outside of actually making the beat, you know. I can help bring the whole project together and the sound of it and make sure it's right and it translates. So.
Executive producer.
Sure.
Extraordinaire. So is the keys, is it the...
That was like the clearest laugh you've given us all night. That was really good.
Was that clear? No.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
The chemistry you guys and the music that you create, what makes that sound distinctive from everything else that's out there?
Probably the fact that we can, between the two of us, make music like single-handedly. It's not a lot of people have that opportunity where they get to go in the studio with somebody and literally take a song from front to the end, just like the 2 or 3 people that are in the room. There's a lot of people are involved in making music these days, I feel like, for the most part. And that gives us some sort of consistency across the board and to Drake's career. And I've tried my best to be very consistent, you know, as far as only really spending my energy and time working on this project and all I really care to work on. So, I mean, that's, I think, what I bring to the table on that level. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're just trying to make the best music we can.
I was going to say, you definitely did Nas Bye Baby, but, you know, you don't do a lot of outside production. You keep it real.
No, I don't.
Strict to Drizzy Drake, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Because that's what it is for me.
They can't get you 40? They can't get you,
No,
baby?
not really. But, you know, this is where I came up, you know. This is work. You just said I won Songwriter of the Year. I work with one guy. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right, so I don't have a problem with that, you know?
Can I just say, too, like, just to touch on what you said, it's like, you know, 40 will, like, literally make the beat, then, like record the vocals, make the vocals sound amazing, go make an amazing cup of coffee, go build a Lego airplane,
I like
and
Lego in the
then
studio.
and then take the record, add to it, take it to a whole nother world, which like makes me come in and have to go harder, because I'll be honest, like, you know, this album, I got completely outworked by this guy, you know, and I was just talking to Detail, who worked with us as well in Toronto, but I got so outworked by this guy. I mean, I would leave to go sleep and I would come back and he'd still be awake. It was like surreal, the work ethic and the amount of production and the amount of like creativity that he put into this. But then past the music, you know, the album has to go to mixing and mastering, and 40 does it.
It's
So it's like,
that's your
it's
job
just-
too, buddy.
Yeah, it's literally like, it doesn't leave the room, you know. I don't have to go and search and try and make it sound, like my sound is, it's our sound, you know. It really is, it doesn't leave one room, and that's like, no other artist can really say that. I mean, anybody you think of has to go get their stuff mixed by this guy or that. We do it all ourselves, and I think that's why it stands out, you know, so. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How's your health? Because I know you have MS, and that was something that was touched on when we did that first,
Yeah.
that first documentary with MTV, and like, you know, Drake had talked eloquently about your connection and like being concerned about that. Like, how are you dealing with that? And
My health's good. My health's good. I mean, I have remitting relapsing MS, not progressive MS. There's two types. Progressive is you're in trouble. You know, things happen and they don't go away. Mine, things happen, they go away. So sometimes I have troubles, and you know, God willing, they go away, and I move on with my life. And for the most part, I'm, you know, 90% healthy, and no one really know any difference. You know.
Cool. Just had a 30th birthday.
I
Happy
try to, you know,
birthday.
just make sure I'm sleeping and eating healthy and taking care of myself, which is really, really difficult when you're not sleeping and working for months at a time. So that being said,
Yeah, outworking him.
I have a little bit of work to do on my own health and my own self, as far as, you know, getting myself in the best place I can be. But I'm doing great. You know, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Before I let you, no, definitely. Before I let you go, 40, talk about this guy a little bit. Like, how has this guy gotten better as an artist from working with him? Because you've always believed in him.
Well, I mean, from day one, I would say like he was the best rapper in the world. Like, I would say that to people. But this is early though. This is before anybody heard anything.
Before it was all
okay?
cool and shit. Now it's cool.
This was a long time ago, because to me, I recognized something in him that I felt was different than everybody else, especially at that time in rap music. And that resonated to be true, I believe, with So Far Gone and everything else. So I've always believed in him, you know. I think it's sort of like making this 13-song album. Like, we're getting more concise. We're shaving more of the trimmings off. Like, it's getting better and better, you know. And that, to me, is the most important part for just to keep us to keep growing. Like, I feel like we've grown every project, you know? And everyone can have an opinion. It's music. You might like it. You might not like it. This might be your favorite. That might be your favorite. It's impossible to satisfy everybody or to do that across the board. But we've always grown, and Drake's always growing, and he amazes me every single time he gets in the booth. And so I don't know. It's not like,
Don't say, oh, it's hip hop shit, man.
yeah.
Come on.
But he's never gone downhill. There's never been a moment where it's like, oh shit, Drake needs to work harder, or he's not rapping good. Like, every time, you know, every album, I'm like, shit, you get better. Like, ah, fuck, you got better again. You know, I say that to him every time, you know. And yet again, this time, you know, I said the
It
same
seems
thing
like
to
he's
him.
like
so.
ready to go back to work, man. You ready to get in that fourth album?
Yeah,
Ready?
I mean,
good?
we usually don't stop.
going?
I'm really trying to take a break right now.
That tour might mess it up a little, but
Yeah,
let's
no,
go,
I'm trying
man.
to sleep through most of the tour.
Time. You deserve it. You go.
I'm gonna take a little break.
You got like 3 weeks. Or
Yeah. I think we started working after Take Care probably like 2 or 3 weeks after we started working.
Oh, you
know?
did? That quick?
Yeah, but it's hard to stop working, you know? I mean, there's not much else I want to do with my time, you know? This is like the most important thing for me, to follow through with what we're doing, to complete our journey and our path, and I want to do it to the best of my ability, and I'll have fun later, you know? Like, I got to work right now, so that's where my focus is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, 40. I appreciate it, baby. I know
Thank
you don't
you,
do a
Elliott.
lot of press.
Come on, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Love you.
Yo.
You didn't even leave. Yo, Drake said, yo, when you talk to 40, I might go back and do a costume change real quick and come
I
back.
definitely did not say that. That's such a late lie. I said I might go to the bathroom and get a drink, but I actually, I don't, I'm going to tell you, 40 doesn't get interviewed like that, so I stuck around just for a thank you chair guy.
Chair removal guy.
Yeah, 40 doesn't.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's a
no, it's
rare-
love. It's
you
love.
would think, because, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like people don't give it the respect. It's an MC and a producer. Like, you guys are building this whole thing. Like, it's from day one. Like, that's as hip-hop as you get.
Yeah, but it's also, like, happening now. So it's like, I don't want to talk about classic I don't want to talk about history. I hate those words. It's happening right now.
Present.
So, like, you know, it's like when I talked to Snoop at OVO Fest, and I was like, man, you know, he's like, where you want to take it? And I was like, man, I just want everybody to love me like how they love Pac. He was like, man, just know when Pac was here, he didn't feel like everybody loved him. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
So with that being said, it's happening now. And like in 10 years, like we'll decide what's a classic, you know, who was the best, who was this, what album you love the most. All that's like, it's just like I always encourage people to just like love it for what it is right now. But the terms that get thrown around, it gets out of hand, you know. And like that's why like you ask me like what's my best album, like my like the net, like it's like we're going. It's happening right now, you know. We'll talk about that like when I'm like, you know, like in like St. Bart's, like laid out, like just like tanning
nice
oil
way.
head to toe, you know what I mean? Like 40 years old, just like, you know, what?
Even though you had that line of, I know you also hate like sales projections and all that. Like even though you had that line of Versace about you think you're gonna sell 1 million. I know
Oh yeah, no, I was about to say no. This time I like the sales projections. This time it's good.
How we looking? Drizzy
I
Drake
don't know.
doing 1 million? We doing good?
No, I don't know. I mean, like it's whatever. You know, if I do 900, is that a loss? You know, like I don't know. Like what? Who cares? You know, it's just like, do you like the music or do you not? Are you coming to the shows to enjoy yourself and let loose? Does the album help you with what you're going through? If it does, then I don't care how many I sell. Like I just want you to be happy.
I want to talk about the moves you're making also business-wise. I mean, it seems like heavy OVO. You have a new label deal situation going on over there.
Yep.
You know, how have you done that? Like, you know, how have you maintained your loyalty to YMCMB but still develop your movement now, the OVO thing? How do you balance that?
I'm always loyal to Young Money. You know, you always hear me represent as best I can. I think it's been established that at the end of the day, you know, I came up under Lil Wayne's wing, and I wouldn't have asked for it to go any other way. But at the same time, you know, I become my own artist and my own entity. You know, I didn't. It could have gone a lot of other ways, but it went this way, and I talk about it on the album as well. But yeah, I just try and be as loyal as I can, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be Drake, you know, and I believe in what I believe in, you know, and I love Stunner and I love Wayne with all my heart, and Nicki, and but at the same time, you know, I always feel like me being out here pushing what I'm doing and pushing OVO, it only makes the label look better, you know. So I just try and make it like a joint thing, you know. Everything I do is hopefully a positive to Young Money, and you know, this album I hope it does incredible things, and I hope they're proud and whatnot. But I've always been super loyal, but I've always did my own thing, you know. I'm just like, I'm the kid from Canada that stays in Canada for real, you know. Like I don't just like be just hanging around for no reason. Like I come around when it's time, and when it's not, I go and work. That's just my thing, you know. And a lot of people take that as like, oh, well, I'm not really, you know, but I just want to let everybody know, like, I have nothing but love for those guys, and I'm just here as Drake in front of you. That's me, like, you know, that's my thing. That's the best I can offer.
Before this cloud produces job, they wanna be down with the king.
Do we get to do Q&A with the crowd?
You want to do that?
Yeah, whenever we are.
Is that a will you?
I know you
marry
want him to
me?
marry you, but you have a real question, right?
Was that gonna be your question? Let me.
You got
see
a real
that.
question, right?
Show me the T-shirt. Let me see.
My fiance actually proposed to me in that shirt.
What? Where? Where is he at?
He's in Texas.
Oh shit. You know what that means.
So I'm a huge
We got a
fan.
party tonight. You might have to come through, Texas. What are you saying? Sorry.
All right, so I'm a huge fan. I
Thank you.
haven't heard the album yet. I'm
Okay,
still
thank
waiting
you.
on it.
That's good. Wait on it.
Yes. I'll see you Monday, Tuesday, and October 28th. So, okay, my question is a two-part. Number one,
Okay.
what was the reason behind the T-shirt last night? Because I loved it.
Oh,
with
oh,
Jaden
the-
Smith. And the second part
yeah.
is, can I get a picture after this?
Oh, yeah, maybe on the second one. The first one, I just like, I don't know, I just loved, like, Jaden's like, that's my little brother, and I thought that picture was like priceless. That was like the best. So I just like sent it to the guys that do OVO. I was like, man, you got to make this into a T-shirt, and I got another one actually. I was planning on wearing it tonight, so you might see it again. you know? Yeah.
What was it? Secret?
No, it's the same shirt. I'm just saying, I got a fresh one.
No, but you know what I think you've done now? Like, I wanted to ask you about that. It seems like, you know, again, the criticism of you, people will say things and try to make jokes. It seems like you have way more of a public sense of humor about stuff. Like when people are doing memes about you or something, you'll retweet it. You know, like the fact that that could be something that people make fun of, you embrace it almost and kind of have this ability to kind of, you know, laugh at it and
But
just
it's like-
the silliness of it, right?
If that's the best thing you have on me, then like why wouldn't I just? That's amazing. What do you mean? Like things could be so much worse. Like, you know, it's like those things to me. Like I'm able to laugh. First of all, like I don't take myself too serious enough to the point that it's like when something's funny, I'm all about funny. I'll laugh at anything. Like for real, I love to laugh. So even if it's at the expense of myself, I mean, like I understand what Instagram and the internet and all that has become. You know, any image of you that's like remotely just slightly off a bit, they're gonna like capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Like, so
they make fun of the way you dress. They try to clown you on things like that.
yeah, but it's just like who am I supposed to dress like? Like I love the way I dress. You know, I feel comfortable every day. Like, you know, I just it's like. I'll be honest, like, I don't want to look like these other guys. Like, you know, that's for them. You know, that's their shit. Like, I don't want to look like them, you know. And, yeah, I don't know. That stuff to me is, like, it's just not that serious. Like, it could be way worse. I could be in, like, real trouble. Somebody could be, like, I've said this before in interviews, but, like, man, I get to wake up every day and be myself. I don't wake up, and I'm not sitting here waiting for somebody to be like, man, I hope they don't find out how old I really am. Or like, you know, like, oh, I hope that picture from 9 years ago doesn't come out because that'd be terrible. Like, you know, it's just, I'm good. Like, everything's out in the open. Like, yep, I was on Degrassi. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've worn yes, I wear sweaters. Yes, I wore a throwback Dada outfit, and it was crazy. Like,
Dada.
Yes, I did it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is my life. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is like.
Next question. What we got? Jesse, who you got?
Right here. B-Dot has a question.
Yeah, this is crazy.
B-Dot doesn't ask no questions.
B don't ask questions, but when I do, I want to talk to you about the cover. I know you could commission the artist, what's his name?
Kadir Nelson.
Kadir, yeah. Can you talk about that and the concept behind it and, you know, everything related to it?
Yeah, well, basically, I was working at Marvin's Room, which is a studio, which is actually a real place. It's a real studio.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, in LA, and the guy who owns it has all this incredible art up on the wall, and one of the pieces is this mural of Michael Jackson. It's one of the most incredible things. Yes, you can clap for Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best pieces that I've ever seen. I mean, it's humongous, and it's got so much detail, and he's so. I mean, I fell in love with this piece. I thought it was great, and I asked him who did it, and then he told me this guy Kadir Nelson, and then there was this other painting of Marvin Gaye. And he's sort of like, it's like a very long body shape, and he's sort of like, it's an incredible piece again. And I was like, oh man, who did this one? And he was like, Kadir Nelson. And so I asked him like, yo, is this guy still alive? Like, is he like, and I like eased my way into asking him if he felt like Kadir would do my album cover. And I didn't know how it would go, you know. I didn't know if he'd even be interested. I mean, he seems to like be, you know, him and like Kehinde Wiley, and there's a couple other people that are like extremely established artists that do that sort of like, I guess for lack of a better term, it's like that sort of like, you know, black art. That's so racist. Sorry, I don't know. But it's like,
edit.
You know, they're like very famous black painters that do, you know, black people. I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, I just loved it because as amazing as it was almost like that painting that you'd see like at your like grandma's house in like the South or something. You know, it just had that like that feeling to it, that soul to it. And Kadir had this piece called Clean Cotton, which was an image of like a slave sitting in the field cleaning cotton, and it was just so painful. And I was like, man, it had a blue sky behind it. I was like, I love this image so much. And so I called him, and he said he was willing to come and meet me, and we hung out for 3 days. We went to the NBA Finals together, actually, which was really cool. And that was, you know, he sent me back these album covers, and it was like the most incredible thing in the world, man, to have like a real piece of art. And when you go buy that album, like, that's a real painting, you know, that painting will exist. And I hope one day I hope I'll do enough in my career that the value of that painting will grow to be like millions and millions or something, you know, like the original one. But even if it's not, it's at my house, you know what I mean? So.
In possession
Yeah.
of Aubrey Drake.
But yeah, that was kind of the gist of it, so.
We got.
Okay, so if you could do a collaboration with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive, Jesus, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, yeah, let the man answer the question.
Before things kind of went downhill with it, I was actually working on my dream collaboration, which was me and 40 at one point were working on this, you know, this Aaliyah album that got, you know, blown up out of proportion. But there are records that exist with me and Aaliyah that nobody have ever heard, and they're really good. So that would be one, and then I think that all the other ones, like I've done. You know, I've done a lot of great things with a lot of great people. I mean, if there was one person still that I want to work with, it would be Sade. You know, and
what went wrong with the Aaliyah project? Was it's officially scrapped? Like, what happened?
I don't know. I think the press got out of hand. They maybe just had like a different vision for it or something. I'm not sure. It was sounding great to me, but you know, whatever they end up doing with it, I wish them the best of luck. And I think there might be a record on there with me and her. I'm not sure, but it was great. It sounded really good. So
going back to something you said earlier, you said you use your tracks to air out a lot of your feelings. So like, what's the real life application of that? Because you got a lot of young men out here subtweeting their feelings rather than saying them, you know. So how are you letting the people in your life? How are you letting the people in your life know these things, you know, before you get them on a track, or? I mean, what's that process like? I feel like.
I think like, first of all, just for anybody that like, Twitter isn't real, by the way. It's like, it's not like any, like, there's no gauge on like real life on Twitter. That's a terrible medium to like exist in. And you can enjoy it. You can even indulge in it, but like, just don't live your life by that weird code on that internet program. So if there's something for you to express, it has to be your own thing. Like, I don't know what you like to do. Maybe you like to like do yo-yos, and yo-yo is your self-expression. Weird example.
Yo-yo game.
But hey, maybe you like to, maybe it's like painting. Maybe it's making clothing. Like, I'm not sure what it is. As far as expressing your feelings, if you happen to be one of those people that's eloquent enough and you enjoy words, then I always encourage you to do it any way you see fit, whether it's poetry, music, or whether it's just direct communication with people. But like, get off the internet, like go, like, you know, tell somebody come meet me for a drink, let's have dinner, let's go for a walk, like, you know, like real life shit. Like, I don't know. And I know it's tough. Like, I know we all love, you know, we all love it, but I'm just gonna give you like an example. It's like, you know, when it stopped being real to me was like on my mom's birthday. I'll never forget. It was all these people being like, happy birthday to your mom, happy birthday. And then I saw some guy be like, yo, I hope your mom dies in a car crash tonight. And I was just like, man, like, why am I reading this? Like, what is going on? Like, who is this guy? And then I went to, like, obviously I went to his page because I'm just like fucking. And then like he's just
50
like
followers.
Yeah, no, well obviously he just had like a Tyler the Creator sweater on, and like he was just like 13 years old, like, you know, just like jerking off to like Grand Theft Auto and shit. Like it was just like, but it's just like
Nothing was the same in stores this Tuesday.
I just encourage you to like just live your life, man, and be great, you know. And as far as communication goes, like it's about whatever works for you. You know, what works for me is music, but you know,
No, you
can
share that true expression. It's not subtweets. You pour it all out. You put it all out there.
Yeah, I do subtweet sometimes. So.
You love Hold On, We're Going Home, but what is that song about? Like Drake, no, I've been asking Twitter, I've been asking everyone, what do those lyrics mean? Where's home? Where you go? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm being real. I don't know.
Well, in my life, what's your name, by the way? What is it? Nikki? Yeah. Ironic. No, in my life, I'm at a place where I can't offer somebody that I'm with that much right now. I'm so dedicated to this. I'm so committed to this room, that I can't really offer somebody the nurturing and the dedication and the loyalty and the consistency that it takes to maintain a relationship. Or, you know, I can build with you, but I don't know if I can give you what, you know, somebody that's not in my position can give you. So for me, what that hook means is like, you know, just hold on. We're going home. Just give me a second. I'll be there soon. And then, you know, a lot of it for me is also the juxtaposition from the female perspective is just like the line that sticks out to me the most is like, you know, you're a good girl and you know it. You act so different around me. I don't know why everybody, you know, there's something to be said for seeing potential. You know, I've seen potential. Those are all my best friends in the world right there. I've seen potential in women that they've told me are no good. Straight up, you know, like they've told me, but maybe you know, maybe I see something in them. Maybe our relationship is exciting. So with that being said, you know, it's sort of like me talking to a woman, but also me talking to myself. You know, that's really how I put it.
Is there a part of you that still even feels uncomfortable of the idea that right now you're in that number one spot, and what that means? Like, do you feel like it's almost like when you're on a rise to go for it is one thing, but now that you're the champ, to defend the title is a whole other thing. Like, do you feel that way?
It's just like I don't care about I don't want number one spots. It's just like, you know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, there was another guy that was not in the number one spot according to the entire world. And then next week, 2 weeks from now, when somebody else does it, all these discussions about, like I said, number ones and classics, and I don't care. I just want to make good music, and I just want you to enjoy it. And as long as we have that relationship for the duration of this career, I'm good. Like, I don't need to, like, I don't, you know. And maybe that's why people say I'm there, because I disconnect from it. You know, my uncle always told me something early in my life which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing. So, I mean, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can, like right now. You know?
On your previous albums, you studied Nas and Andre 3000 to gain inspiration. Was there any artist or rapper that you studied or listened to in order to gain inspiration for Nothing Was the Same?
I was more probably listening to music that nobody was listening to. Yeah, but like. One of the most important like connections and relationships in my life is my manager and one of my best friends, and his name is Oliver, and he's always and you could clap for him, please.
Oliver,
he, like,
yes.
because he's always silently dictated a lot of the decisions that I've made. I mean, he does a lot, but when it comes to the music, he provides me with the inspiration that I need to keep pushing forward. So he'll give me playlists of music that I would never, I just don't have the time to go find. And his ear is so good that, you know, in another life, he's a producer or like, you know, like some like DJ that gets like $9 million a night to like spray like cryo in the air and like be like, you know, but he's such an incredible mind and an incredible ear that he gives me music that nobody else listens to. So that music combined with like the extreme hood shit that I listen to, like Lil Herb and like all like these like
we seen the Instagram.
Yeah,
So.
I just like I try and sort like I balance it all out, you know, and that just comes from me like spending summers in Memphis, Tennessee, and like listening to like old Yo Gotti like albums and listening to like 3 6 but for this album, it's crazy because when I did Wu-Tang Forever, all these Wu-Tang references started like pouring in. It was crazy. Like, you know, I had the Capadonna line, and then Capadonna like called in and did the ad lib, and then you know, Timberland had the sort of cream hook, and so it was. I liked it because it was a consistent thread. You know, not that I was trying to make like some Wu-Tang tribute album or something, but like it just made it consistent. So as far as being inspired for this album, though, I mean, I think I was really more inspired by like 40, Detail, Oliver's selections, like more so than any other artist. You know, I wouldn't really say I was inspired by anybody else's music as opposed to just the people around me for this album. So yeah.
Before we get to my man, Detail 305 to My City, like talk about that record. Like Detail seemed like he got a larger role in this
yeah, Detail did like 4 records on the album. Detail did, I mean, me and Detail worked together on Worst Behavior. Me and Detail worked together on 305 to My City. He produced the beat for Paris Morton Music too. And then we also worked together on Own It. And Detail's this guy who, you know, he'll come into the studio and be just super excited and full of ideas. And if you can I am a great, we work very well together, you know, because he'll have like initial ideas that once developed, they become like something incredible. And not to say that they're not great ideas to begin with. I'm just saying we work well together as a team. He is a brain. He sparks a lot of ideas. And then we'll move forward from there. And he's so passionate about it. And it makes me passionate about it. And, you know, we have a great, like, it's one of the people that I've met over the course of this journey that really inspires me in the studio. So he was a big part of this album, and I liked it because he took my flow away from what people expected, you know. Yeah. It would have been easy for me, like I said, like I don't want to sound like No New Friends, you know. I don't want to sound like I'm on one. Yeah. I did that already, you know, and for me to come back and win like that is like me winning on the Heat again. You know, it'll just be like, yeah, okay, yeah, he won, but I mean, it didn't make me think. It didn't make me like, I almost want you like not to understand it at first. It should take 3 weeks. If you love something the first day, that means you're gonna be over it soon. I want you to take your time, man. I wanted to pose questions. I want there to be people in this audience that don't like this album or have questions about it or feel like it's different. That's what music is about. You know, you have to give people some evolution and some variety, or else it just becomes like redundant and then it just goes downhill, you know. So for me, I took a risk on this album by changing my tones and my flows.
Yeah, you said you experimented with some
I just experimented with different things, and I'm really proud of how it turned out, you know, and I feel like I've lived with it for a year. So I feel like on Tuesday, once you get to live with it for maybe 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, I feel like you'll start, longer than that, but I feel like you'll start finding things in it that you really love. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, close us out, Crown Man. Don't mess us up, man. Come on, man. Close us out.
I ain't gonna mess y'all up, man.
You got a good question?
Man, these for you, man.
Oh,
I
thanks.
made these for tonight's show.
Tees on deck, bruh.
I had to get you right, man. I don't know if you're ever gonna wear them.
Thanks, man.
I had to get you right, man. But
Tees
this
on
question.
the Gold Owl. Let me hold this up for you, man.
Yeah, man, do that, man. Do what you gotta do, man.
Do what you gotta do.
It's the Gold Crown Owl, man. It's a crown event, so I got you and Elliott Wilson.
Why you got
right
the
for
box?
tonight,
You got the box.
I was about to say, are you hosting an after party or some shit? What the fuck?
You want me to? host you after party, man. We can get right, man. But
What's your question, my G?
This is my thing. I see your artist selection is very picky. And I noticed that when you pick an artist, you really like to study them. Like when you told Elliott Wilson about Future, you said, yo, he got it. He gonna do this. Like when you said stuff about The Weeknd, or even your new artist, Party Next Door. I'm an artist myself. So all I want to say is, what do I have to do, or any artist in this room have to do to get noticed by you?
That's a great question. I think that for anybody, what you have to understand is like there's a way to exist in this world that's like we've never had it before, but like I strongly believe in the fact that if you have a good product, for the first time ever, there's a way to like get the world to hear your product. And if it's good, you will see the results from it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people that, you know, artists will drop a mixtape, and if that mixtape picks up, you know, whether it's like House of Balloons or Party Next Door, like, he'll get like, I remember seeing when House of Balloons dropped, I remember people being like, yo, I'm in the Netherlands right now listening to House of Balloons. It's like, what? Like, you know, we have such a platform to access the entire world. And my biggest thing to you, your question was, how do you, like, I guess, catch the attention? It's just about finding your own moment, you know, and having the music be great, as cliche as that sounds, but it's just like, man, you know, there's not a lot of great music to choose from, so when somebody is great, the world will let you know, trust me. It doesn't take me, it doesn't take this guy, the world will let you know. All you have to do is put it out there, and there are people who scour the internet every day looking for the next big thing, and I promise you, if that product that you have is potent enough, you will be the next big thing. And I feel like that's it, you know?
Before we go, I mean, it's obviously your moment now. You had, again, back to that intro, you had that line, hey, about how you'll be here. You said who'll be here a decade from now. You know, like, why will you be here a decade from now? Shut the fuck up. Thanks. I'll kick you all out. I don't give a fuck.
I'm definitely like, I'm in this for the long term. You know, I have a long-term vision, and I feel like I've built a strong enough relationship with the people, you know, not with anybody else, because, again, no offense to anybody else. I respect what everybody does. I respect what you do. I respect that, you know, but I don't care about anything else except for the people, because the people will dictate how long you stay in this game. So with that being said, my duty is to give them what they need, what they want. You know, I'm here, like, I work tirelessly to stay on their mind, you know, to give them moments where it's going to be hard for us to just disconnect or fall apart. You know, I want to build personal relationships, even if we've never met personally. I want to build personal relationships, you know. So why I think I'll be here in a decade is just because I'm dedicated to that. Like I said, you know, this album is done, and as soon as 40 gets enough rest, which is extremely important, I'm ready to go again while I'm on tour, while I'm coming to see all of you, shake hands, we can hug if you're a female, and you know, and I want to just be like, you know, I want to be somebody that we grow together, because very few artists get to grow with people, and we've grown together. I mean, from the looks of the crowd, we've grown from like Jimmy Brooks in the wheelchair to like, you know, to So Far Gone, to Thank Me Later, to Take Care, to Nothing Was the Same, and you know, and with that, and Comeback Season, yes, of course, sorry. And with that being said, you know, I feel like we have so much more growing to do, and I don't even know if 10 years covers it, because, you know, I'm about to start acting. I'm about to, you know, it's just like, so, yeah, with that being said, you know, I plan to be here for as long as I possibly can, and I just want to keep making, you know, I want to keep making you guys happy, because you make me happy on nights like tonight, and you deserve it, so.
Well, keep growing, man. Drizzy Drake, thank you, baby.
Everything was crisp. It was good. As soon as they brought that drink out, I was in the zone, you know? No, it was really good, man. It was like, it just felt like, it felt super natural, you know? I feel like it was a good crowd.
Yeah, the crowd was very active.
Very active, yeah. And I feel like they left fulfilled, which is like the most important
Yeah,
thing.
without a performance. I mean, that's what's unique about the experience.
Well, that's like why
it's
you're
an interview.
you're the Don, you know? I mean, like, to sell tickets to an interview is ballsy, man. So it's like, I think we gave them enough
Yeah.
that they feel great about it.